think he refused to meet with you. He said he needed time to speak with the people that his support.
Correct. Because, so, based on the meeting we will have tomorrow, we will come up with a conclusion as to whether or not, because this has never been
Right.
addressed. So, from that meeting, we'll be able to make a determination as to whether this person.
In my opinion,
Yes.
he's expressed his willingness to meet.
Okay.
An attempt to see if this thing can come off. He did express his opinion, that Chief Mastronardi expressed the opinion fairly clearly, that he believes it would be a mistake to go forward with it.
Right, and that's why I'm just my opinion was, he said, he did say he would meet, but I think in his mind, he's thinking that it still wouldn't change his mind about it.
Still. Well, we'll need a because he didn't
We're
say that.
I mean, I
conjecturing
can't
what
speak for
comes
him,
on
but
things.
it just seemed that way, that he still doesn't think.
So who's gonna be at the meeting tomorrow? If there was gonna be, who would be?
I'll be at the meeting.
I'm not talking about from here. If you gonna be there, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, who are we gonna be meeting with?
I'm gonna be meeting with the chiefs.
We already left, I mean, see, if they're not here to get that information, how they?
Well, we can obviously get a hold of our chief, so, I mean, you can call them, so. if they
And
don't-
where are you
if
gonna
they
be
come or
at
they don't
here?
come, so, I mean.
Hey, where are we gonna be? That's the good question.
I'll be with them at the same place with me in the meeting at the prosecutor's office. That's essentially it.
The only thing, this meeting apparently didn't go the way anyone planned. The only thing I have to say is that so often, everyone thinks an event is manageable, and then something happens. And everyone says, how come no one thought of this beforehand? Where was everybody? Why did no one mention this? So, at least you have some forewarning of this to give you an idea where to go from here, what kind of decisions to make. I don't have all the answers. I mean, the agreement I did was an indemnification hold harmless agreement. Based on what I've heard tonight, perhaps we need some kind of thorough agreement which spells out the promoter's duties and responsibilities. And in order to do that, I would have to see, does he have prior agreements with other municipalities or organizations or whatever, whether it be in New Jersey or somewhere else, that spell that kind of thing out. I'm not really sure what this is. I don't know if this is bands. You say artists. I think you mean musical artists, right? Is that what it is? So I don't know what that means. That sounds to me like a concert where that could be a lot of people, but I don't know what this is. I thought we were having food vendors, and then I didn't know we were having bands until today. So the agreement I did talked about, it's just really a liability agreement. It gives them permission to use the park. But, if it becomes a concert venue, that's different than I had recognized. So I'm not really, in retrospect, had I known these things earlier, I would have told you we need a more thorough agreement, certainly. We're not charging admission, right? There's no admission to this, it's just
There's no,
whoever shows up.
no.
I mean, you run all kinds of issues, like, there was, how many, was it 4 or 5 years ago, there was a bad fire in that tent in Queens at the St. Patrick's Day Parade. So you have, you probably need fire inspectors, you're gonna have musical performances, you have amplifiers, you're gonna have food vendors, they're gonna have probably propane or electric hookups, and, I don't know if that, is the health department gonna, usually I know they inspect all those things. Before the parades, the health department inspects all those things. I don't know if any of that's in place. I don't know who's responsible to have it done. I'm taken back tonight. I feel like had I known this in advance, I could have given the borough more advice and done other things. I didn't recognize, you told me this was speeches, Mayor. You told me about speeches. That's all I ever knew. You said dignitaries were going to come and speak, is what you told me. I didn't know any of this stuff about bands and security forces and all these things. This is all news to me tonight. So I feel like to some extent like I've let you down because I didn't prepare for this, because I didn't know the scope of this. So I want you to know that I'll do whatever I can in the next 10 days to make this right, but 10 days is the blink of an eye in legal terms to get something done. And we have to hold a special meeting. We can't enter a new contract without a special meeting, which means you have a special meeting next week, I guess, to approve the contract if we reach a point of agreement.
What the chief just expressed, it centers around safety and security, and that's what I was hoping, or I am hoping to discuss with him tomorrow. So with regard to the realization of the event itself, the promoter, as he indicated, he has experience in dealing with similar events. The issue of security is not on him at this point, is on us. And the discussion with the several chiefs and the prosecutor will become necessary to determine whether or not, is there anything that we can do in that short amount of time that we have, to decide as to whether or not we can move forward with this or not. I think that's where we are right now. So it's not a question of creating another agreement, at this point. So,
But when is this meeting? I agree with what he said. I think we need to get together. I agree with what he says. Is we need, time is of the essence. You have to meet, we do have to meet, put everything on the table within that short span of time. And be fair about it, come up with a decision whether it's negative or whether it's positive. That's going to be the end game, to decide whether we're going to go forward or back. And that's what he just said. He wants to get it. We have to come together, talk, try to resolve the situation one way or the other, so at least he knows whether this is going to happen or whether it's not. And that's his main concern. And I agree with him, because all these things that have come up, there's a lot of things that we haven't really anticipated in reference to this whole situation. So I think as soon as possible, we need to get together, whether to find out whether we agree or disagree, but at the end of the day, we're going to come up with a conclusion based on all the information that we're going to discuss. And then we'll decide whether we're going to go forward or not. And basically, isn't that what this is supposed to be?
Are you available
One
tomorrow?
more thing, and you won't hear from me again. You have got collectively 70 years of police experience between three chiefs. We're telling you that we're concerned with the well-being of the people attending this event, your residents and our residents, the safety of the people. And you are not going to be able to properly put this thing together in a perspective that you need to properly protect the people that travel to this town, that come to this event, to your residents, my residents, and the residents of Toms River, in the amount of time that you have. So you don't need to have another meeting. You've heard it. We'll support Chief Isaac whatever way we have to do that. But you have heard the experience from the law enforcement side, which is the people that are going to have to be here and have to respond here in the event that we have a problem. And we're telling you, you do not have enough time to prepare for this. We support you. We will support you in any way that to see fit, to make sure that you have a safe, successful festival. But you're not going to do it successfully and safely in 10 days. It's impossible. It's impossible. Meeting tomorrow is great, but you're going to hear the same thing tomorrow from us that you're hearing tonight.
Thanks for your work.
You're not going, you don't have enough time, and we're not here to discourage it. We're here to try and educate you from a law enforcement side of things. You have 60, 70 years of experience here. And we're telling you, you don't have enough time to properly prepare for this event. If you have 50 people, 100 people there, that's one thing. You have the capability of an influx of 15,000, 10,000 people. We had 25, 30,000 people come to our fireworks event. And we're not indicting people from New York. It takes us 3 hours of directing traffic just to move the traffic out. That's after we created safe lanes of travel for our emergency vehicles on certain streets, one side of the street parking, strategically placing command posts, strategically placing boats in the river in an event that we have a problem with the boats in the river, strategically placing people at posts to move crowds, to cross crowds across the street. I'm telling you, I mandate, it's not a matter of waiting to see how the event goes. I don't care if 100 people show up to my fireworks. I have every available person that works for my police department working that day. And I'm telling you, this is an event that we plan for, we have meetings for, year after year after year, and we tweak it every year to try and make it a little better and a little safer for everybody attending.